What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your second stimulus check update. President Donald Trump has been on a Twitter rampage. We're going to go over that and what the future of second stimulus checks and unemployment checks are. And also, I'm going to give you a clue of what is in that box at the end of this video. I think my wife might be jumping on to give you the clue. And if you can guess what's in that box, you could receive $100 from me. I'll give you a clue on that at the end of this video. And don't forget that tonight is the vice presidential debate. I believe it's the one and only vice presidential debate. It remains to be seen if we're going to see more presidential debates now with the president having the virus. And is it safe to have them in the same room? We're going to have to see on that also. Also, don't forget to give this video a like down below. It really helps out our channel, and subscribe if you're new here so you don't miss out on upcoming videos. My wife and I do all the research for you every single day so we can bring you all the information in a quick, concise video. So, I'm sure by now that you've seen one of my past videos where President Donald Trump tweeted out to the nation that he wants his negotiating team, his Republican negotiating team, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin mostly, to stop negotiating with Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House and the leader of the Democrats, that she wasn't negotiating in good faith, and he wanted to just stop negotiating with her, and that he would pass a massive stimulus package right after the election, which is now in less than 30 days away. And well, everybody freaked out about that, and the Dow Jones index on the stock market plummeted with a swing negative of almost 600 points almost immediately. It just basically looked like a crater, and then well, today on President Trump's news, the stock market is now up almost 500 points. The stock market was up almost 500 points on new tweets and new wording from President Donald Trump that he still wanted to pass stimulus and stimulus checks, and he wants to pass it now. President Donald Trump said very late last night that the House and the Senate should immediately approve $25 billion for airline payroll support and $135 billion for a paycheck protection program for small businesses. Both of these will be fully paid for from the unused funds from the CARES Act. Have this money, I will sign now. He also then said almost immediately after that if I am sent a standalone bill for stimulus checks, $1,200, they will go out to our great people almost immediately. I am ready to sign now. Are you listening, Nancy? And then again, he tagged Nancy Pelosi, which is kind of unusual because he doesn't actually speak to Nancy Pelosi since she tried to have him impeached. He tweeted again to her saying, "Move fast. I am willing to sign at Speaker Nancy Pelosi." So it looks like Donald Trump is still negotiating with Nancy Pelosi, the leader of the Democrats, for these negotiations. And most people are now thinking that this was just part of his negotiation ploy. But the problem is that Nancy Pelosi and Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin were very close to a deal. They only had a few things they were negotiating on, and a deal at around $2 trillion seemed like it was right around the corner. They were only negotiating basically on the amount of money for the states and cities, which they really weren't that far off on, and some other minor details that didn't really seem to matter that much, as long as they could get the 13 votes they will need from the Republicans in the Senate. And honestly, if they came to an agreement and President Donald Trump publicly said to these Republican senators, we need this deal, we need it before the election, I'm up for re-election, some of you are up for re-election, and a lot of Republicans, House members are up for re-election, all of them, they probably would have got those 13 votes. So a lot of people are now questioning President Donald Trump's strategy on whether or not that was good, because have they now alienated Nancy Pelosi? You know, Nancy Pelosi, I mean, the president hates her, but he needs her to pass the stimulus package unless he does it through a presidential executive order. There's also a lot of people talking about that now, and the interesting thing is, depending on how the president does the stimulus checks and who they go out to, what the income criteria is, and the other criteria, he actually could have enough money in there for both $1,200 stimulus checks for dependents, and some money for unemployment, apparently up to 6 more weeks of unemployment that he could do through a presidential executive order from this unused money from the first stimulus package that has already been approved by Congress and basically is just sitting there waiting to be used. So he could actually pass stimulus checks in there and unemployment checks in there. So he could pass both through a presidential executive order. Now we know he's already done the unemployment money in the past through a presidential executive order. So a lot of people are saying, why hasn't he passed the presidential executive order already? Now, a lot of people were thinking, and I thought this too, that he was waiting until Congress had gone home, until we were within 30 days of the election, because Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin said that when he passes the presidential executive order or a stimulus package, that people will actually start receiving their money as early as 7 days from when it passes this time around. The direct deposit people will start receiving their money in as early as 7 days, with the check people probably at least a week or more after that. So that's about 2 weeks. So we're now within that time frame where Congress has just gone home back to recess to basically campaign for their reelections, and we're now within 30 days. So now is the time for the president to do that. So the question is, has he been waiting until we were very close to the election so that everybody will get their stimulus checks right before the election, and basically that will pretty much guarantee him millions of more votes? So now is the time for the president to do that. So we will have to see if he does that within the next few coming days and passes a presidential executive order, if that was possibly his strategy all along. There's also been a lot of people that have said this, especially you guys in the comments. I've seen hundreds of comments from you guys saying almost this exact thing. At this point, the stimulus checks, and possibly the unemployment is possibly the number one deciding factor on if the president will get reelected or not. Here's why. Hear me out. If he doesn't get the stimulus checks sent out, and he has that public tweet where he said, "Stop negotiating. We're not going to send stimulus checks out until after the election, after I win." Well, the problem is that's going to make a lot of people mad that need, help now and have needed help over the last couple months. And if they don't pass the stimulus checks, there's a lot of people that are the swing votes that are not going to vote for the president. Now, on the other hand, if he passes the stimulus checks before the election, those people will probably vote for him. So passing the stimulus check is probably, and the stimulus package, is probably the number one deciding factor on whether or not the president will get or will not get reelected. You guys can let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I know a lot of people, they vote Democrat or they vote Republican every single time, every single year. In fact, my parents vote Democrat every single time, every single year. And Laurel's parents, who is also my accountant, vote Republican every single time, every single year. And both of our families have for decades. I don't like to look at things that way because I don't want to vote somebody just because they're a Democrat every single year after year after year, or a Republican after year after year after year after year. I like to look at what people are saying, what they're doing, what they stand for, and if it's a good decision to actually vote for a specific person. I consider myself a realist or possibly an independent, but I just look at people and, I don't vote for them based on their party. And there's actually a lot of people that are like that also. There's a lot of people that vote the same way every time, but there's about a third of the people that are considered independent or vote different ways depending on what's going on. And whether or not the president passes these stimulus checks or not could be the number one deciding factor on if he's reelected for another 4 years or not. Also, with that being said, since the president's announcements on Twitter, we've also had some very big tweets from Vice President and presidential nominee Joe Biden. Joe Biden says, "As president, I will implement nationwide mask mandates, ensure access to regular, reliable, and free testing, and accelerate the development of treatments. I won't waste any time getting this virus under control." The key one there is implement nationwide mask mandates. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Are you for nationwide mask mandates? Let me know, because I know a lot of people go both ways, but I think that because the president now has the virus and a lot of people around him, his wife, his press secretary, um, 3 different Republican senators, there's been over a dozen people that have now caught the virus from that Rose Garden ceremony. And I feel like a lot of people are now possibly changing their minds on how they feel about masks and the virus. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Joe Biden also says that the president turned his back on you and has a statement about the negotiations that Trump allegedly canceled, at least temporarily. Statement by Vice President Joe Biden on the President Trump canceling negotiations for the stimulus relief. He says Donald Trump ended the effort to pass bipartisan relief that our nation desperately needs. He ended the talks that would get help for our businesses and schools, for families struggling, and for those unemployed, that would have preserved hundreds of thousands of jobs. Make no mistake, if you are out of work, if your business is closed, if your child's school is shut down, if you are seeing layoffs in your community, Donald Trump decided today that none of it matters to him. There will be no help from Washington for the foreseeable future. Instead, he wants the Senate to use its time to confirm his Supreme Court Justice nominee before the election, in a mad dash to make sure that the court takes away your health care coverage as quickly as possible. Well, one thing's for certain is that it is going to be a hot next couple weeks leading up to the debate. And if we do have another presidential debate, oh my gosh, that thing is going to be a complete hot mess. And don't forget, tonight is the vice presidential debate. That's probably going to be a completely different story. I will have some opinion and conjecture with you guys, and possibly my wife, when that is over and in one of the upcoming videos. Okay, I have my beautiful wife Laurel here, who does all of our video editing, research, thumbnails. She probably does more work than me on this show.
Probably.
To give you your next clue of what is in this box. By the way, we will be announcing what is in this box tomorrow, and also who the winners are. We're going to give $100 to 2 different people who guess what is in this box. So if you guess correctly what's in this box, then you will be entered as the people who have guessed correctly, and we will pick 2 different people randomly to receive $100 from me. So make sure you're watching and also watching your comments, because I will respond to your comments of where you guessed correctly to get your PayPal address or whatever, however we figure out how to do it. So tomorrow we will be announcing and opening this box to show you what is in it. And we're going to be doing this again in the future with some different items. So we already have our wheels turning of what to do. So without further ado, Laurel, what is today's mystery clue?
The clue today is the contents of the box aren't any kind of currency that we use today.
All right, let's hear it one more time.
The contents of the box aren't any kind of currency that we use today.
That's an interesting one. Let me know what you think is in the box. Comment down below. You can comment as many times as you want. You can guess as many times as you want. And we'll have to see. Again, tomorrow we will be showing you what's inside this box. And we will be having a new clue for the next few videos until we announce what is in this box. It will probably be tomorrow night at 8 p.m. So there will be a few more clues of what is in this box in the next few videos. So make sure to watch each video so you get each clue, and we will keep you guys updated. Also, don't forget to smash the like button for us and give us a thumbs up down below. And make sure to subscribe. Also, we're almost at 250,000 subscribers, and that is just going to be absolutely amazing if we can get there.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get there here in the next week or so. We love you guys. We will keep you updated with new stimulus checks and related news information as it comes out. And I guess Lily wanted to come by to say goodbye to you guys. Thanks, guys. You can click on this video to watch my newest stimulus check videos next. And you can click on this video to watch a video on how to start a business selling products on Amazon FBA. I have students that have replaced their entire 9-to-5 income by selling products on Amazon, and we teach them how to do that. Click on one of those videos to watch them next. Thanks, and we will see you in the next video.